Hi, this is Roman.
And Angel.
And Nora, the editor.
And you're listening to Cinema Strolls.
The film podcast about forming an opinion and regretting it later.
Or not.
Or not.
We just watched 28 years later the sequel to, well, actually I guess it's the third film. I haven't seen the second one, which wasn't done by Danny Boyle, which was called 28 Weeks Later. I have no idea if it's good. I've only seen the first one. I don't think you've seen it, right?
No.
We gotta be honest.
No, I was planning to see it before coming to see this one.
I was planning to
Never got around
rewatch
to
it, but yeah, and I wanted to rewatch it and also didn't get around to it. And I think I've only seen it once. It's a solid film. It's mostly, I think it's mostly, I guess the imprint that it's left on the film, sort of pop culture memory is first of all, the way it was shot on DV, on a super bad camera, like a super shitty camera. Basically the same camera that was used for the Dogme 95 films.
No.
Or even a worse one, maybe, I don't know.
Well, it depends on which Dogme film you mean, I guess.
And shot by the DOP, who shot most of the most famous Dogma films, Anthony Dodmanto.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a Julian Donkey Boy reference in this one, like an homage.
Did you see one?
I did.
Where was that?
In the field.
What happened?
When they're in a field, when the mother, forgot the name of the actress, Jodie Comer, yes.
And she's
So
amazing. She's always very good in everything I've seen. So
absolutely, she always gives it her all. And the shot in the field is very reminiscent of a shot in the field from Julian Donkey Boy, which was also shot by Anthony Dodmanto.
Yeah. Okay, well.
And I'm sure it was an intentional thing.
Dodmanto has been working with Danny Boyle since, I think, 28 days later. So they kind of come together as a pair.
And also, I think the film was also scripted
by Alex Garland, who wrote the original.
Yeah.
And who has since became a pretty interesting director of sci-fi until he decided to not be that anymore. But I'm a big fan of Alex Garland, of his first two films, and I like Devs as well. It wasn't perfect, but it sort of lingers in my mind. So these are all very sort of skilled, talented people. I didn't know what to expect, but first of all, I'm gonna start with the fact that I don't think we had a very good presentation.
No, we should be very upfront about that. We watched the movie in a very shitty cinema, on a very dim screen.
It was very
sound.
dim. There were certain scenes in the film where I'm pretty sure I would have liked and appreciated them a lot more if I could see what was happening. I'm sure this film looks way better
on a proper screen.
On a proper screen. This is we're like a broken record at this point. We're always disappointed by the screening experience we have here in Bulgaria. I don't think we've ever talked about how good the quality of the presentation was. It's either neutral or a complaint. So I guess we should sort of accept it as a granted. Like
they should just close that specific screening room.
They should fix their bulb or something. I don't know. It was super dark.
It was super dark.
Yeah.
This is one of the worst experiences. Just
visually.
The only one I've seen that was worse was the first time I saw. When we watched Dune together.
The first
part, yeah. That was abysmal. That was worse than this one.
Yeah. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't think I watched I can't really talk about the cinematography fully because I don't think I fully experienced what Anthony Dodmanto was going for.
I would like to say a few words. Maybe we should.
Well, shot on iPhones. No, let's start with that. It's fine. Shot on iPhones. They built this really complicated bullet time rig, and they really want you to know that.
This is. I feel very conflicted about this film. I'm not conflicted about that part. That was the silliest shit I've seen in a while.
Right, but the film is popey, so the silliness didn't necessarily take me out of it.
You know what it reminded me of immediately the first time we saw this effect?
Uwe Boll?
Yes, House of the Dead.
Of course, I thought of him as well.
Why would you do this? I mean, this whole film, the whole time is, what am I watching? What is happening?
Just to clarify, they built this super big sort of half circle rig with iPhones, and they used it to be able to freeze time and do nothing else other than to just move to the other side, move the camera basically.
At the moment of a kill.
Or the moment of a kill.
And they don't do it every time as well. They
don't do it every time.
Sporadic.
And, okay, I have my take on it.
Okay.
I think we're watching a bunch of boomers trying to be influenced by video games, because not only in the sort of kill cam, but also in the way the zombies are portrayed are basically, they come in fractions, in types of enemies that are consistent. So you have the crawlers, who are fat and they crawl. And it's not just one crawler, it's a bunch of crawlers, and you know them as the crawlers.
So it's an enemy type now.
Yeah, the enemy type is the crawler, exactly. You got the fast runners.
Yeah.
And then you got the mini boss. You got the mini bosses, or the, I guess, we never get to like a, well, there's gonna be more movies, so we don't know. I'm sure there's gonna be more enemy types. But yeah, it's a video game.
It is.
It's taking tropes from video games and applying them to a film.
It's so funny because, you know, even though I haven't seen 28 Days Later, I know it's very influential. It kind of, if not invented Rage Zombies, it really popularized.
I'm sure it didn't invent.
I think Romero did with Frenzy, or what was the other film? They made a remake a few years ago, which is basically people getting some kind of a disease that makes them go crazy.
What was one of the Italian
Crazies.
ones? Oh, okay.
Or something like that.
Okay. You want to check the name of the film? The Crazies, or what did you say it was?
Pretty sure it was The Crazies.
But yeah, anyway, the point is, these guys did not invent Rage Zombie.
Yes, 1973. I'm pretty sure this is kind of a precursor.
Okay.
But my point being that 28 Days Later popularized the idea of the Rage Zombies. Then Zack Snyder also did his remake of
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, which incorporated that, and they've kind of been adopted into the mainstream pop culture.
We should explain what the Rage Zombie is and why it's such a big deal.
Well, because unlike Romero's shuffling corpses, who
these
are very
guys
slow,
can run.
those can run and they attack and they're very aggressive.
That's it.
That's it.
And they scream.
And they scream.
So the thing is, so my problem is that I have never cared about zombies. The zombies don't really scare me. This film was not scary. I think
No,
we can.
not at all.
I'm not saying it's not fun, but it wasn't scary.
I'm not sure if it was going for scary.
It wasn't. I don't think it was. If anything, it was going for cool, like for visceral sort of.
I don't think it worked though. As you said, boomers trying to be trendy.
But I think you wanted to say something about the influence of the first one. Did you finish your point? Because I have
No.
a point to do with that. Is that I think they're trying to.
I was going to say something about The Last of Us and about video games. I was going to say
Okay, go ahead.
even though I haven't seen the original 28 Days Later, I know what influence it has on pop culture and on video games.
Okay.
So it's interesting that
They're now taking.
now they are taking cues from video
I
games
agree.
that were influenced by their work.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, true. And it's sort of a circular nature of things. But
Yes.
I also wanted to point out, for me, because I don't care about zombies, the influence of the first one is that it's a sort of high concept, pulpy film shot using consumer grade equipment. And so now they're trying to recapture that as well. And
Yes,
trying
using phones.
using iPhones, exactly.
They should have shot it vertically, just as a fuck you.
Maybe, but no, I don't think that would have helped our screening experience if this was
No.
a vertical film. Did you dislike the film?
I don't know what to think.
Me neither.
The film started, and I immediately thought this is very goofy and silly. This is not landing at all. Even though I realize this is trying to be pulpy.
Yeah.
But the thing, it's so tonally inconsistent. I'm not even saying this is necessarily a bad thing, because you know the drama is very grounded for the most part.
Yeah.
And then you have the action scenes that are very pulpy and silly, and not scary at all, which is kind of gives you a tonal whiplash. And then it gets even sillier, and then it tries to build to like a thematic point, which is very, you know, the memento mori thing of remember you're mortal. Just
That kind of worked.
I'm not sure, because the whole, maybe we need to build up to that.
Yeah, sure. Let's start with the premise, if you want.
Yeah.
So it's been 28 years. The film follows a bunch of Brits stuck on an island, cut off from the rest of the world,
Which is,
and trying to make sense of the legacy of the British Empire. So it's a documentary basically
pretty much
about current day UK.
Yeah, it's very post-Brexit.
Obviously, yeah.
It's woven into the.
Yeah. But these guys are stuck on an island that's like a tiny little island.
They have
And
a
they have
thriving
little-
community.
Yeah, they got a little. How would you call that? It's not a bridge. It's like a pathway that leads towards the mainland.
Only during a low tide, though,
Yeah.
which is important. What's the thing about the zombies not being able to cross water, like in the previous ones?
I don't remember.
Because we can see them in actual water during this film. So
No,
this-
but they say that once the tide gets up, it's impossible to swim.
yeah,
They explain it away, basically. But yeah, anyway, the film follows the world's best father, who decides to. I guess this is like a rite of passage, maybe, like.
yeah, it seems so. It seems to be some kind of tradition of
Coming of
becoming a
age.
man
Yeah,
by going to the mainland and shooting your first rage zombie.
yeah. So the father takes his son on an excursion like that, and the film kind of leads you to believe that,
This is going to be a film, kind of
yeah, maybe the father will die.
the road,
Yeah.
but in the world of 28 days later.
Yeah, well, I mean, the film does subvert your expectation a little bit because they actually managed to go back to the island with some new information. Basically, the mother is sick. She seems to be having both physical and mental problems. And while they're on the first excursion, the kid notices like a fire in the distance, and then he asks someone back at the island, "What is that?" And the person says that it's a doctor, which sort of leads to the kid sort of taking the mother and going back into the mainland to find this doctor,
Hoping that
yeah.
he can cure his mother.
So, how do you think? How do you feel about the structure of the film?
I mean, I can appreciate that it subverts these expectations because that was not anywhere in the trailers or anything that. Which is great because most trailers now spoil everything.
Yeah,
So it's nice to be surprised and
Yeah, the
not being sure
trailers
where
kinda,
things are going.
They kind of mislead you into thinking that the Ray Fiennes character will be a threat of some kind, like, maybe some kind of maniacal killer.
And the movie tries to do that at the start as well.
The movie misleads you
Yes,
into thinking that.
he's going to be the main boss. I
Yeah,
guess.
but I guess the main boss is set up in the very final scene, but we can
In
get
the
to
very
it
first scene as well.
in one of the first scenes, and in the very exactly
The
in
very
first
first
scene,
scene.
one of the in-between scenes where you see a corpse hanging, and there's the words Johnny written on it.
Jimmy.
Jimmy, was it? Okay,
Yeah,
Jimmy. And then you see, I mean, did you notice the graffiti?
Yeah.
There was some Jimmy graffiti
Yes,
as well.
I noticed.
So they set up this name Jimmy, and without spoiling the ending yet, I guess Jimmy will be a very important character in the future films, because this is actually part of a new trilogy. I don't know if you knew that coming in.
No, now I do. It's obviously open-ended, so.
Well, the second one has already been shot, and I think it's coming out relatively soon. And it's directed by someone else, not by Danny Boyle.
And then the third one will be directed by Danny Boyle again.
Yeah, yeah. And what worked for you?
So the film starts with a scene that's not connected to the main plot. And immediately I think this is kind of silly. I kind of laughed out loud. I wasn't sure if it was intentionally, if I was laughing with the film or at the film at this point. And then we go to this little island. We see the way to live. It's kind of grounded and nice, I guess. It's shot nice. All I want to say about the cinematography is that it's strange how it jumps between scenes that are very reminiscent of straight up Dogme 95 films. Like there are shots that look like they've been shot in like 97, 95. And then you have very modern, very crisp, very digital shots. And the way they edit and jump between them was strange. I need to figure out how I feel about it. Not necessarily bad, just it was definitely a decision.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think I vibe with that more.
And
than
there's
you.
also some. Sorry to talk about the cinematography and the editing, but you also
Well,
see
this is heavy on that, so.
cutting in archival footage from old films, which I have no idea if the original did or this is something they introduced now.
I don't think it did, as far as I
Yes,
remember.
so this is very Dogme 95 as well.
Yeah.
This is very reminiscent of like Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac, for example. Which does-
yeah, but that's like late von Trier. Does he
Yeah.
does he do this in the early one as well?
No,
But
it
it's
is
but it's
later von
definitely
Trier.
a von Trier thing of cutting to archival footage to prove a point.
Yeah,
It's also something that's very much internet age. It's very much the language of a
Yeah,
YouTube video. Where,
them trying to.
where you can just cut to anything you want in a video essay, for
Yeah.
example.
So it is again those boomers, not Gen Xers, I guess,
Yeah,
but
true.
those aging
Yeah, but
filmmakers
I'm not
trying to
not
be modern.
too disparaging. I think some of it worked.
Some of it worked, some of it was interesting. And what worked for me, the action bits were too silly for me. Like, way too silly for me. I was laughing more than I was tense. The drama, for the most part, worked for me. I think there are some good performances. I think that the kid did pretty well. Jodie Comer, she always does great. Because she's a
And
very
once
capable
it
actress.
builds towards the ending, it gets kind of sad. And
The ending didn't land for me. I wonder if this is again based on the fact that we had a bad screening experience and I wasn't as engaged I should have been
possible.
at this
It's
point. It is possible, but
did it not feel a little bit rushed, maybe, from them meeting the doctor to the conclusion of that whole thing? Maybe
Kind
we
of,
should have spent
yeah.
more time with the doctor, with Ray Fiennes.
can we go into spoilers now? I think
Yes, let's
we
do it.
can. Yeah. So the film does a lot of subversion, as we mentioned. You think you're gonna watch a whole film with the kid and his father, then they go back. Then he decides to strike on its own with his mother to try and
Find the
to
doctor.
find the doctor. You think the doctor will be a threat because he's introduced as a madman doing weird things with corpses, and then it turns out he's actually a good, kind-hearted man who wants to help him.
Yeah.
And also another thing that kind of subverts the expectations. Well, no, because it's part of a trilogy, it's going to be expanded. But they do a very big review when we see a pregnant raid zombie, and then we have a scene which is also very silly, if you ask me, of her giving birth.
You think the baby is going to play a bigger role in the future?
It's possible.
I doubt it, actually.
It's interesting how much they introduce this lore, and it's not very important. I'm sure it's going to build up to something.
Okay.
It's impossible not to build up to something. But I gotta be honest, like the big thing, the big climactic, or not climactic, but the most emotional scene of the death of his mother. They go and the doctor examines her. Turns out she has late stage cancer. There's nothing you can do. And so the boy needs to accept the fact that his mother is gonna die. The fact that they had to drug him is kind of, I don't know how I feel about that part.
They drug the
It's-
kid so that he can chill,
Yes,
while
while
the doctor performs a mercy kill on the mother.
yes, and then he boils her skull.
Yeah, but let's set up the skulls.
yeah,
though.
it's very important. So
Yeah.
when we find the doctor who's been living there for like 15 years or however, since 28 years maybe. Since
since the
Since the
beginning
start of the pandemic,
apocalypse. Start of the pandemic, yes.
It is a pandemic.
Sure,
yeah.
sure, sure.
So he's been taking corpses, he's been taking their bones, and he's been creating kind of a bone cathedral, I guess, which is something that exists in Poland, I think. And also you have the French catacombs and stuff like that. So he's creating a huge memento mori of the death of a species in a way. Or a way to remember all the victims of this rage virus. So, when the boy finds out that his mother is going to die, he's surrounded by all these skulls
Yeah, they talk
in
about death.
this monument to death, and he gets drugged, and the doctor drugs the mother, and then he comes back with her skull, and he gives the boy the skull, and tells him to place it somewhere on the highest, on an important part of his monument to death. So the boy climbs up a huge tower made out of skulls
And places the
places
bone,
are right at the
the
top.
skull.
And the whole time, for whatever reason, the only thing I can think of is Neil Marshall's Doomsday,
Okay.
because and it's a movie I haven't seen, but I've seen trailers, and I think that there was a similar kind of structure made out of skulls.
Okay.
And I don't know, the whole thing with the skulls just felt too goofy for me, and it didn't land as this kind of, existential,
No, I see.
philosophical
Yeah.
not
It
even
didn't
exploration.
really land with me either, to be honest. I mean,
Mm.
I wanted it to land, but it didn't.
Yeah.
I got what they were going for. But is it maybe an us problem?
Is it? I don't know, dude. The whole thing is so silly. The way it's
You're saying
edited.
the way the whole film is constructed doesn't permit for like more sincere moments because the action is too silly, maybe? Like it's the tonal shifts are
The tonal
too
shifts are too much for me. Maybe for a younger audience who's more
used to like
used to this type of content.
Mhm.
Just jumping between modes, I guess. But to me, it was hard to take serious when like a few minutes earlier, there was a giant naked Indian man with a huge penis holding a severed head with the spine still attached, which is very fake and very goofy looking.
Yeah, those are the parts of the film that I enjoyed the most
I didn't.
because they were the most popey. I was
They were
like,
poppy,
okay,
but
this
it
is
was
silly.
clashing with the other stuff. It was clashing
But the
for
other
me.
Stuff, you've seen the other stuff in so
Yeah,
many
that
other
was
places.
that's also a problem. I feel like this is quite derivative.
It is.
Not
it is
only
for sure.
because you have stuff like decades of zombie films afterwards. And
Decades of zombie films before that as well.
Yeah. No, even if he's trying to build up
Okay,
on
sure,
his own
sure.
mythology, because there are beautiful shots.
Mhm.
There are some interesting decisions in framing and stuff like that. But the editing was nothing to write home about. There's interesting effects here and there, other than the whole goofy G bullet time thing, the House of the Dead thing they were doing. You had some doublings and stuff. Occasionally,
A little
you have
bit, yeah.
some visual effects,
Yeah.
which I have no idea why they're there and what they're going for with that. Let's drop.
I think they're going for a cheap exploitation movie vibe, but like for the modern age.
Yeah, but then why are they doing this thing about this drama about a boy trying to accept the death of his mother?
Yeah, it's jarring. I agree.
It is very. I mean, talking about it being derivative. I also have a problem with Jimmy's character, even though he's just introduced.
You want to talk about Jimmy? Are we going to spoil the very ending yet, or is it too soon? No, I think we should just talk about it.
We should. We talk about everything.
Yeah.
But to finish my point about
Uh-huh.
this feeling derivative, it's very derivative of Stephen King, I think.
Uh-huh.
Trying to have this popey thing with the drama.
Okay.
And not even it's Jimmy's character. So the film starts with a scene that's not related to the main plot. And we see a family being attacked by rage zombies. There's kids watching Teletubbies in a room and their parents trying to
And
act
then
like
zombies show up and take them out of their misery.
Yes, and then a boy that runs to a church and finds his father, and the father says, no, this is actually a glorious day. His father is a priest,
Yeah.
and he says this is actually a
But
glorious
always
day.
like a maniacal sort of, how do you say, what's the word? Fanatic,
yes.
zealot,
Zealot,
of
yes.
some sort.
Which is also very Stephen King.
Yeah.
And he actually
The boy.
embraces, he dies in a very silly way. He gives his cross to the boy. The boy says, Father, why have you forsaken
Yes.
me? Which is immediately, what am I watching? Am I supposed to
I
laugh
know
at this?
exactly what I was watching. That's the point where I immediately
guess
got,
it's just-
this is going for Pope.
Yeah, I guess I just wasn't expecting it to go for Pope. Okay, so this, as we find out at the very end of this film, is Jimmy,
Yes.
who's now
The little boy is Jimmy.
The
Yeah.
little boy grew up 28 years later to become some sort of cult leader,
Yeah.
and it's very reminiscent of Stephen King's The Stand, the bad guy in The Stand.
Okay.
It immediately,
haven't
even though it's
seen
like
or
a
read
British version of this
Okay.
charismatic psychopath who has built a cult of personality around him. This is very silly because they have like tracksuits on, like
Adidas
very chav.
tracksuits, yeah.
They're all blonde with wigs, or they dyed their hair or something, He has like a crown on his head or something like. What's the word?
Well, I don't remember. What was it? Was it a crown or was it?
No, it's more like what women at the prom sometimes wear. Like.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Ah,
So the whole thing is very silly. Our main character at the end finds Jimmy's crew, and he sees them killing zombies, and we see how gleeful and cruel they are to the zombies.
and how they kill them in almost like in a very sort of doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the film. It's like almost like a martial arts kind of.
It is. They jump
goofy,
around.
they jump
It's very
around.
goofy, but they're very obviously very sadistic.
Yeah.
And they're very gleeful. And now we know that. Sorry, this is very important. So we see a pregnant raid zombie. It gives birth, and the baby is not infected. This is very important.
Yeah.
That the baby is not infected. So now we know that when they're killing all these people, even though they're raid zombies, maybe it's too late for them, but they're also killing any hope of a normal life coming back.
Yeah.
So this is definitely going to play into the sequels.
Probably. I wonder, because I'm not sure. When we see the pregnant woman, I ask myself,
How did she become pregnant?
did she become
Was
a
she
zombie a few days ago?
Well, no.
Because
It's
these
impossible.
people have been zombies for a while,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so she must have become pregnant probably by another raid zombie.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Maybe the cute Samson.
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
we see.
probably, because they probably have sex. Because they're not dead, they're alive. Because these are not like undead zombies. These are just like
They're
infected people. Yeah.
With rabies.
With like a extreme version of rabies, exactly.
So I'm sure this is gonna play into it. And my immediate thought seeing Jimmy is Randall Flagg, I think was the name of the character.
Oh, you think, or did you not just Google him 5
I
times in
had
a
to
row?
Google him because I
This
forgot
is the most
name.
Google-heavy episode ever.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, sure. And I think they're very obviously set up to be the real villains, you know?
Yeah.
I wonder who the real zombies are.
And so I don't know what to think. There's
It's
moments
goofy, unfortunately.
of very competent filmmaking. There are moments when I was involved more in the drama than I was ever in the action or the gory stuff. But then it kind of lost me there as well.
I'm sorry to say, I think this is going to be one of the ones we forget.
Yeah, I mean it's very odd, and but it's not gonna leave anything in my mind because it's nothing I've never seen before.
It's not old enough to stick around.
No, it's not old enough to stick around, and I kind of, because this is my suggestion that we watch this and try to record, because I've heard that it goes in very interesting directions at the end and stuff like that.
I think people are either talking about, because I heard it as well, I assume that people who are gushing over the ending, they're gushing over the mother thing,
I guess.
or they're really shocked by the silliness of the ending.
I really don't know, because the whole thing is very silly. Maybe it's my problem that I didn't immediately clock that this is going for Pope, and you did.
I did.
And you had a better time than me.
Yeah, but even clocking that, then the drama actually takes me out of it.
Yeah, I'm very interested to speak with like younger people than us, because maybe this dissonance doesn't exist for them as much.
It's possible.
But again, it's nothing I haven't seen before. It's not reinventing anything.
No, it definitely didn't reinvent anything, for sure.
So why is this? Why would he make the film? What would make the authors of this film
I think there's a
want to make
conflict.
it?
I think there's a clash between why Alex Garland wants to make it and why Danny Boyle wants to make it.
You think?
I think so. I mean, Alex Garland is someone who does like Pope, definitely. He's not like an art house, exclusively art house kind of guy. But I think that if Alex Garland was going to direct this film,
He would have done a
I don't know,
completely
maybe I'm
different
wrong,
film.
maybe it would have been more like the Dread movie he made. He ghost directed and wrote, which is very popey. But going by what he usually does, I think he's more interested in the drama aspects.
I think so. So
In the British society coping with itself post this pandemic,
post-Brexit.
post-Brexit, post-COVID.
Yeah.
There's a lot of they cut to footage from like King Arthur movies, and
Yeah.
a
So
big
it's about
focus on-
history and
yeah.
how will we how history remembers, how we persevere. Well,
And
you say there's
I
a conflict,
think
but
Danny Boyle is the one who's kind of just tainting the whole thing with like style, and I think there's a clash between those two things.
they worked together for like decades. I mean, Garland should know who he's writing this for, right?
Well,
So I was.
you don't know how Alex Garland feels about the film.
I guess so. But
He wrote
did
the
write it.
script and he gave it to Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle took the Anthony Dogme and one of them decided to put 10 iPhones on a half circle rig. So I don't know who. I'm pretty sure it wasn't Alex Garland who did
Okay,
that.
so maybe let's talk about Danny Boyle and Garland
Yeah.
and what our relationship to their movies are.
Okay.
Danny Boyle is an old one for me. So I remember seeing Trainspotting as a very young, maybe 10 or 11, and was kind of a bit traumatized by the baby scene, as many have been.
I watched it a lot later, so it wasn't traumatizing. But it's a great film. I think.
It's a great film. I feel watching it a few years ago, I felt it was kind of oddly rushed, like it was going through very fast, and I maybe because scenes when I was a kid were just sticking in my head, and I remember being longer and more. I don't know.
No, I think I understand what you mean.
It's very fast paced. It's very well done. I also really like Shallow Grave, which
I
is a
haven't
great
seen it.
first film.
Okay.
Very solid black comedy. Very well made. Not so over stylized. You can say that Trainspotting maybe goes too far, but because of the drug addiction topic, this is something that works within the story.
Sure.
And I've not seen 28 Days Later. I've seen The Beach. I remember loving The Beach. I know a lot of people don't like The Beach.
I don't have. I think I only watched it once on TV. I think even when I was back in Mozambique, so I was a really, really little kid, so I don't remember anything.
And of course, this is the first time he worked with Alex Garland.
It's based on a
his
novel,
yeah.
a novel by Alex Garland. Yeah.
And this is when they start working together. After this, I think it was 28 Days Later, which was shot on DV camera. I think it was the Canon XL2, something like that. It's a workhorse. It's been used for so many things. And this is like a genre-defying, very important film for this specific.
For the look and for the fact that they
Yeah.
managed to shoot in London and to clear the roads, and somehow they managed to shoot like an empty London without using any CGI. It's impressive. It's visually impressive. You see Cillian Murphy walking down in front of a big band, and there's nothing,
Yeah,
not a single person around.
this is maybe the most famous shot of the film.
Yeah.
And they start working together. I remember seeing Sunshine and fucking hating Sunshine.
I think apparently Sunshine was kind of tainted in the edit. I think apparently they both kind of not disavow, but they're both disappointed by it.
I really disliked it. Mostly, I mean, there were very clear references to 2001: A Space Odyssey visually, to a distracting degree. But mostly, I hated the ending because it really, really reminded me of Event Horizon, and I thought Event Horizon is a much better film. Not sure if I would say Event Horizon is a great film now, but it has a style.
Man, you want to go on record saying that Paul W.S. Anderson
Is a better director than Danny Boyle? Yes, I
Sure.
guess I do. So yeah, I maybe I need to rewatch Sunshine. I remember there were some good, interesting thematic things because they're in a spaceship trying to restart the sun. Am I remembering?
Yeah,
this
the sun is
correctly?
going
So-
out and they need to restart it with a big...
Kind of reminds me of the core now, when they need to go inside the earth and restart the core of the earth.
That's true.
And there were some existential themes again about death and whatever. You can sense the Alex Garland of it all. But I remember thinking it was very derivative and very botched, and just not caring about it. What else, Danny Boyle?
He's made so many movies.
So many movies.
Obviously,
Slumdog
he
Millionaire,
is the
of
one
course.
that won him the Oscar.
Yes.
I like it a lot, but I'm sure it hasn't aged well. He actually recently acknowledges in an interview that he wouldn't make the film today. He said that basically, if nowadays he would have produced it,
down?
he would have produced it and looked for an
Indian
film.
director, yeah. Makes sense.
Which makes sense, and it's nice that he sort of acknowledges like
Yeah, nice that
how
he's self-aware enough.
he's self-aware. The film looks great, and I think it's a pretty solid film. I got nothing but fond memories from it. It's a crowd pleaser for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember liking it very much.
Then there's Steve Jobs,
I've no
which is an
no opinion.
incredibly well shot film. Incredibly well performed. It flies by. It's super nice. Nicely done, I mean.
Aaron Sorkin?
Well,
Right.
let me get to it. So it's a very well made film. Unfortunately, it's an Aaron Sorkin script. And it's terrible. it's the worst. I mean, it ends on a poignant moment of Steve Jobs telling his daughter he's gonna put at 1,000 songs on her device, referring to the invention of the iPod. And it's played up as this super emotional moment. Who gives a shit? I think the whole CEO biography film is kind of going out of favor nowadays.
Yeah,
There was a moment for the whole genre, and arguably the best film out of the bunch was Social Network. But Social Network, if it's a good film, it's a good film because of David Fincher. It's not because of because Aaron Sorkin is one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most overrated people working in script writing. And I think The West Wing has done more to damage American politics than people realize.
Yeah.
Because it creates this myth, this sort of neoliberal myth of people talking together, reaching across the aisle and working together, decent people on both sides and whatnot. And as we know, this is not the reality of America. But anyway, I don't like Aaron Sorkin. And because of him, Steve Jobs is a pretty bad film, but it's very well made.
Okay. A few we might have missed. 127 hours. Pretty solid film.
It's good.
Pretty good. Anthony Del Manto again.
Mm-hmm.
Early digital cinema thing with the same camera as Slumdog. I think it was after Slumdog Millionaire or before. Anyway, pretty solid film. Trance is an odd one.
What?
Trance.
What's
Film
Trance?
Trance. Rosario Dawson.
It's Pope. It's pure Pope.
It's so bizarre. I mean, it's so strange to make a movie where, like, the fact that a character shaves her vagina is a very important
Plot point. Yeah, because one character has an obsession with that. So
yes, it's a very strange, very well shot. I remember having fun with it, but it was just very odd. And then he did something like Yesterday, which I've never seen, but I hear it's terrible. I didn't see T2 because
it's okay.
I don't know. I just
It's
don't care.
fine. I like it. I've seen it several times. It's not the worst film. It's not the worst legacy sequel.
I think he's making a Trainspotting 3 as well. So
There's rumors of that. Apparently, at some point they talked about making a film based on the Begbie character, sort of focused on Begbie.
so not based on an Irvin Welsh novel.
No, I think there is a novel focused on Begbie, so maybe they're adapting that. I'm not sure.
Okay. And yeah, he's a talented director.
Yeah.
But
He's one of those
recently-
directors. Definitely, he's one of those examples of someone who needs a good script, first and foremost. Also, not necessarily. He might be style above substance
In many ways, yeah.
in many ways.
And
but
when it works very well.
I think
He's
I
very
like him a
dynamic.
lot. I like the sort of collective memory of watching all of his films. I don't think any one single film of his is a masterpiece necessarily, but I like that Danny Boyle exists. It's a very inspiring sort of style, I think.
There's something very youthful and very freeing about
Yeah.
just going and doing whatever you want with some of his staging and some of his visual decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Alex Garland,
Mm-hmm.
who
Well, he's a writer. He started as a novelist, then became a screenwriter, and then at some point started directing. And for the first couple of movies he directed, he definitely, I mean, I had my money on him as being the next big thing in sci-fi for sure. I think Ex Machina is great. I think
Annihilation is even better.
is a almost, I think it's probably a masterpiece. I don't know, it's like one of my favorite sci-fis made in the last, like, I don't know how many years.
I definitely agree. And then he did Devs.
Devs,
which
the
is
TV series,
pretty
which
solid.
is super interesting.
Yes, very cerebral, very existential.
Not crazy about the ending, I think.
It's another ending. I don't know. I'm not sure what to think about it as well. I mean, I like the themes of it.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it works necessarily on screen as well as he was envisioning it, but I see what he was going for and I respect it.
Yeah, but also maybe could have been a movie.
I guess.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you needed time to build up to.
Yeah.
to that, but it's slow. It is very slow is the main thing. It's very static.
Mm-hmm.
It's very ponderous. It's very I'm at a loss for
Takes its
words.
time.
Not even it takes its time. It's very introverted.
Yeah.
It's very. The pacing is slow.
Feels a little bit like you're reading a long novel.
Yes.
It doesn't have the pace of a movie.
Yeah, it's about just trying to come to grips with these concepts of determinism and destiny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very philosophical. You can say it's very dry. It's beautifully shot. Amazing needle drops.
Mm-hmm.
Very good soundtrack in general. Great performances.
Mm-hmm.
Something falls apart at the very end, I feel.
Yeah, but it's still a journey that's worth taking.
Absolutely.
I definitely
highly
recommend
it. Yeah.
To anyone listening, Ex Machina Annihilation in Devs.
Yeah, and then he made Men, and I haven't seen Men.
I've
but
seen Men, and
was very divisive.
I like it. I understand why it's this divisive. I would never, I would understand anyone who doesn't like it. It's a horror film that with a very obvious metaphor at its core.
Very obvious
It's
metaphor.
about toxic masculinity, and even the way the title drops at the end, I think, is intended almost as a comedic cut, because basically.
Does it fall like
No. It's more like no. A character, a man, says something very needy and kind of cringe, and then the actress almost looks at the camera, and then it cuts to the title, "Men," and it almost feels like the movie is saying, men,
Yeah. You know how they are.
You know how they are. I think it's a good film, but I wouldn't necessarily fight to put it on any sort of pedestal.
And then he made Civil War, and I have no interest in Civil War.
I don't like Civil War. I just didn't. Maybe I should give it another chance. I just did not vibe with it. Maybe I'm becoming a little too radicalized. I don't know. I just didn't have patience for the whole war is hell, isn't it? I mean, the scene at the end where they storm the White House is supposed to be kind of, tragic.
Yeah,
You're
upholding our
supposed-
humanity or
yeah,
something.
Oh no, more like look at how far we've gone. And I was watching that and thinking, yeah, do it. Let's do it. Let's go. Storm the fucking White House. But Nura, you can cut that out if you want. But yeah, it's not a great film, I think. And I haven't seen the latest one called Warfare, which it's about a real event. It's co-directed by someone who participated in the event. A bunch of soldiers go to Iraq, and they have a rough few hours. It's based on a real battle, like beat by beat, based on a real battle. Like
Maybe they shouldn't have gone to Iraq then. I don't know. That's what I would have done.
Okay, sure. Also, I have room in my heart for like sympathy for soldiers in film. Like I can understand a movie that sort of tackles the subject matter. As long as you're not saying war is hell is not enough. You have to say war shouldn't happen, and you have to sort of
Investigate why it's happening.
investigate why it's happening. I'm not interested in films that only show you how rough it is. That's not enough, I think.
I agree.
Also, I'm more and more with time, I'm starting to have an aversion to recreating unpleasant atrocities that really happened on film. I think there's other ways of making films about subject matter like that. Like I'm off-put by recreating stuff like that in film. Like Civil War is better because it's a fictional conflict, I guess. I don't know. I'm not too keen to rewatch Saving Private Ryan, for example, because it's very easy to use stuff like that for the purposes of propaganda.
Who was it who said that there? I think it was Truffaut.
Truffaut,
There
yes.
are no
There's no
anti-war
anti-war
films
film.
because every movie you make kind of glorifies.
Even
war.
yeah, and obviously if you watch the first minutes of Saving Private Ryan, you wouldn't feel like you want to be there. But it's still,
Then
in
they
the
get
end,
to honor and valor. And,
yeah, in the end, it serves the purpose of, even if that's not the intention of the filmmakers, it can easily be used for propaganda purposes.
Yeah, it always is. I
It
don't know
always
about,
is.
Come and see. Maybe you can say this is.
Yeah, that's definitely an example of, yeah, maybe that works, but there's other issues there. Like maybe don't make movies that traumatize your lead actor.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a great film. But yeah, it's off-putting because of that, I think. But yeah, anyway, Alex Garland is a talented director, but he's going in a direction that I'm not too keen on.
Keen to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, he's claimed that he's retired from directing, maybe. And he wants to write for other people, but then there's rumors that he's going to make an Elden Ring film for A24.
Which is going to be so bizarre. Such a strange choice of a director.
I think he's very talented, and I want him to keep directing. So, you know, I'm not.
Yeah, we're not complaining.
I'm not complaining.
Let's see what he does.
The collaboration between Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, for me, in this particular case, did not work.
It's such an, again, knowing who these people are and seeing a lot of what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to. I mean, I haven't watched any interviews. I haven't done any prep. Maybe.
Well, they're not
they
gonna.
would say.
If there's any disagreement, they're not gonna show
No,
it
I'm
up.
not talking about the disagreement. Not at all. I think they're both on the same page. I'm just wondering what this page is. Maybe the rest of the trilogy will build it up to something that makes sense in retrospect. But
It's possible.
But why make this
I
the way
think
they've done it?
I'm not sure if you and I maybe want different things out of this trilogy. 'Cause
I guess so.
After seeing the final scene in this film, I'm like, okay,
Let's go silly.
let's go see
Go
it. Yeah.
all Pope.
Let's go full Pope, yeah. Because I care about zombies so little. I'm so disinterested in zombies that honestly, I would I hate them so much. It's like
Flames. Flames on the side of my face.
exactly. No, I don't want to, like, if I'm gonna watch these films, they have to be silly. I don't have time for a drama.
You don't have time for serious
Zombie? No, honestly, sorry, it's just me. It's me. It's not them. There's the scene at the end where Jimmy shows up with the fellow Jimmy Stans, and they all have white hair, long white hair and tracksuits.
No, it's very fun.
And gold. I was like, oh, are they vampires?
This is so extremely
I
good.
was like, oh yes, the vampire. I was like, the vampire showed up. Obviously not, but
immediately
Dare to dream
I
a
was,
bit.
Yeah, but I was immediately thinking of Rando from The Stand. And I was like, I've seen this, so why are you doing this? You're basing this in Britain now, so it's a British Rando. But maybe I'm wrong.
we'll see.
You
we'll
have to see, but do I want to see though? Like,
We don't
am I
promise.
invested enough in this trilogy now?
I don't promise
after this one?
podcast episodes on the other two. I'm probably gonna watch them on my own time. I'm not invested in this series. Sorry.
No, me neither. I mean, I love Anthony Del Manto. He's one of my favorite cinematographers. I've loved him ever since I learned who he is. When I saw Festen.
he does like crazy camera angles for its own sake. It doesn't always go
No, it doesn't
hand
always
in hand with the themes of the film, you know?
No,
They're not always justified shots.
no. Sometimes it's random. There are so many shots that are very Dogma 95. Callbacks to films he's worked on, and it's bizarre because again, Dogma 95 films are like the tones of these films are like much more, not even grounded, but they're much more bleak and much more morose sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few comedies, but mostly they're very bleak films. So when you shot a movie like this, and then you cut to a silly naked zombie man holding a severed head, which is obviously made out of foam, I just get whiplash.
Yeah, but
I just don't understand what's happening and why.
let's do a test. We always say this. Sometimes we say this. I don't think we've ever done it on the podcast, but in our private lives when we talk about films. Would this bother you so much if it was maybe in Japanese or it was a Bollywood film? Like, would the tonal shifts bother you less?
Yeah, but my problem with this line of thinking is watching it as if you watch a Hong Kong movie or Japanese film or something like that, you think to yourself, okay, I'm not a part of this culture. Maybe there's a context I'm missing. Maybe there's, cultural osmosis that I haven't steeped myself into to understand why this is like that and why it's acceptable that this is like that.
Okay.
Here, I know that I'm not missing anything.
Okay.
I know that there isn't a cultural context I'm missing.
Sure, but maybe they just want to experiment with tonal shits.
Okay, I mean, I respect their drive to try new things, but I permit myself the license of saying this doesn't work. For me as a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
So, would it bother me in a Japanese film? I would think it's silly, and I would think to myself, maybe I'm missing something because I'm not Japanese. Here, I mean, I'm British, but I feel like I have enough cultural insights to feel like I'm not missing something when it comes to this jarring of a tonal shift.
Yeah, I guess.
So they don't have the excuse of this being another culture, another film tradition. Like,
No,
because I love Japanese cinema, and I've tried to understand the context of why some things are like. And it's the same with Indian cinema. You have different mythology, you have different theatrical tradition, different styles of acting that are acceptable, and people have grown up viewing them as the way you act on stage or in front of the camera.
Okay, well then I think it might be worth talking to somebody who's younger, because the cultural clash might not be to do with like where you're from, but how old you are.
Yeah,
And maybe these Gen Xers who are
maybe
trying
they're
to
right on the money.
maybe they are right on the money. Maybe they skipped over the millennials
Yeah.
and they're talking straight to the Zoomers. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to check with someone who's like 18, even younger.
Yeah, see how they feel. We're
see
going to
if-
see the box office, and we're going to see if the movie works with the British audience or international audience as well.
International audience. This is not. I mean, this might be a British film, but it's like an international film.
Yeah, but there's a lot of British topics. I feel like the whole perseverance, the isolation, and how to proceed, and how to
Yeah, a different
build a
movie might have.
society.
A different movie might have lingered on that a lot more actually, and made it like a more biting sort of
Yeah.
satire.
But we
although-
don't know because it's
Exactly.
trilogy, so there's two
Although
more
based
movies.
on the ending of this one, I would assume that inevitably it would go in that direction at some point.
I can
'Cause-
imagine maybe the next one will skip. Do you think it's going to take?
No,
At
no,
the same
they're
year?
not gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be same year. as
Okay,
far
I was
as
wondering
know.
if they're gonna
Do a
maybe
time
make
jump,
the
no.
baby a character.
As far as I know, they're all called 28 years later, and then
Just
there's
part one,
a,
two,
an
three.
under title, like a second title underneath.
Well, there's some fun bits, and there's emotional moments that didn't land, and there's a lot of silliness that I'm not sure how self-aware they are. I guess they are, it just didn't work for me. So I'm not sure I can recommend this one. Do I regret seeing it? No. But would I ever see it again? I don't think so.
Watch it legally at home, I would say. Watch it if you like popey stuff. You can skip paying money to watch it on a bad screen, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Not that I want to recommend people go to the theater less, I guess, but actually there's better things to spend your money on this year.
Yeah, maybe you can skip seeing this one particular one on a good or bad screen, regardless. Just go see something else at a
Yeah, if
cineplex.
you want to go out to the movies, you can watch something else for sure.
Yeah.
And as for Danny Boyle, I'm still a fan. I will occasionally check in on anything he does, and I'm sure he has at least one more good film in him.
Yeah. People should watch Trance. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's much more consistent and it's very entertaining.
Yeah, and watch Alex Garland, his first 3 films.
Yeah, and I guess I haven't seen Dread 3D, by the way. I should see it at some point, just out of...
It's popey. It's Anthony Dotmento again.
Yeah, I know.
Apparently it was a very complicated production, and apparently Alex Garland like stepped in for the director and low-key like ghost directed the film. I don't know if it's a recommend, to be honest.
A lot of people love it to bits. I don't know if I would be one of them when I finally see it, but the completionist in me would like to to check it out.
It's you're not missing out on anything. It's got a lot of edge to it. I don't think it's aged necessarily very well. But Ex Machina, Annihilation, both films are great.
Yep.
Devs is great.
Yep.
Yeah, I kind of got nothing else. Do you have anything else you want to say about the film, or any parting words?
I feel like I've started a few threads that I never got around to
You can
finishing.
try to.
I wanted to say something about Anthony Del Mantle. Anthony Del Mantle was one of my favorite cinematographers. Like pretty much my two favorite cinematographers, I guess, are Anthony Del Mantle and Robbie Mueller. Both people who have worked in the Dogme 95 movement, and Dogme 95 has been very influential to me.
Which film did Robbie Mueller
Robbie Mueller
shoot?
did Breaking the Waves, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
And most of Jim Jarmusch's films. And he's done Wim Wenders films, The American Friend. Robbie Mueller is amazing.
Yeah. And he did 24-hour Party People, which is also shot like a Dogma movie.
Yeah, it's shot on the. I'm pretty sure that it's shot on the same camera.
And it's one of, yeah, we can talk about it some other day.
Yeah.
So finish your thought about...
Anthony Del Mantle was one of my favorite cinematographers. He's one of the most important cinematographers of digital cinema because he was there at the very start. The very first Dogme 95 film was shot on like a Sony kind of handheld, small digital camera. Looks like shit, very poor quality. The movie looks amazing because of what he does with movement, with blocking. Great film. And then he did Julian Donkey Boy later on. I mean, this is not chronological, but Julian Donkey Boy is a very interesting example of a film that was shot on digital, then was transferred to several types of film to get the grain just right, and it's beautiful. I don't know if the film is good, but I love the visuals of the film. So every time he does something, I'm very interested in the cinematography. It's always experimental, it's always very evocative. And here in this one, I feel kind of let down. There's some beautiful shit. I mean, again, we always need to get back to the fact that the particular screen we saw this at was not doing the cinematography justice.
I think so.
And yet, as you said, there was odd angles for the sake of odd angles that were not doing anything to elevate the film. There was some beautiful cinematography in this one, and maybe it's a problem of Danny Boyle as director or something in the editing, but some of the visual choices, while bold, were not helping to make this a more cohesive experience.
Especially the half-baked bullet time.
Especially the half-baked bullet time. So, I don't know what any of these guys, very talented guys I respect very much, were smoking when they make this. I don't know what I'm missing. Some Gen Z listener, please comment or say something, because I don't know what I'm supposed to get out of this. Help a brother out.
I honestly think it's a reference to the kill cameras that you can find in video games. Something that happens in Fallout, for example, when you viscerally kill an enemy and the camera lingers on the gore.
But this is not
Now,
lingering.
for a film that has so much drama on its mind, this sort of lingering on violence doesn't help at all, unless it's trying to maybe make a point about desensitization.
Well, yeah, the opening of the film is about a desensitization, and I'm sure when Jimmy comes in, the gleeful killing of all of these, I'm sure this will come back later on.
And maybe in retrospect it will work.
Maybe, but
I think it's about desensitization, maybe. If I have to be very charitable.
I guess we'll see eventually when they do the other ones. I don't feel like I missed anything by not watching the previous two films.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is definitely standalone. Except I'm sure Cillian Murphy will show up at some point. But
yeah, there was so much speculation that zombie was
was
him.
There's a very skinny zombie that appears at one point, and the internet decided that that's probably the Cillian Murphy character. But it's not.
So parting words, I mean, we already said you can skip this on a big screen. It's worth a watch at home, I guess, if you like this type of thing. I don't feel it will linger in my mind.
Yeah, there's better zombie movies, I'm told.
What's with you and zombies? Why do you hate zombies? I rate zombies, particularly that's why I haven't seen the original 28 Days Later, because I just find them boring.
I find all zombies boring.
I don't.
I give a pass to the Romero ones, because the The first two Romero movies are like solid social satires, but
I really like Day of the Dead, by the way. It's my favorite Romero
okay,
one.
I haven't watched it, so maybe it's worth checking out. Let's just wait for a
It's
bit.
much bleaker. Day of the Dead has much better effects. It's much bleaker. It's much more of a downer. It's not. There's nothing like the mole scene, and it's much more nihilistic about the future of mankind. But it's a very solid film. It's very well made. And maybe because I saw it kind of young, and it kind of created in me appreciation for the zombies as some kind of metaphor. And I've always had it
Well, zombie movies only work
as a metaphor.
on the strength of how well the metaphor is used in the film.
Yeah.
As a horror element on their own, they're very boring to me.
Have you seen any of the Return of the Living Dead films, which are much more comedic and much more gory? And
Yeah, you
much
can do a
more
comedy
fun?
with zombies, sure. Okay, I mean, we cannot talk about zombie movies without mentioning Shaun of the Dead,
Yeah.
which is a great film.
Yeah.
It's a comedy. You can do comedies.
Yeah. And
But-
the thing is, it's not a zombie comedy. You know, you know the line. It's both a zombie film and a comedy.
Yeah, it works on,
well
on
with
yeah, it works
both of
on,
them.
yeah, in both sort of genres. I agree. But no, man, I just don't like zombies.
I want to know more.
I guess they don't scare me. They don't tap into any visceral fear that I might feel. For example, with like a well-done vampire, for example, or I mean, I don't know. Do you like monster movies in general? Like seriously taking them as a serious thing?
Well, no, I like them silly. I love monster stuff, but I do like them when they're silly. So I should have liked this because it's silly. But I don't know what more I can say.
I just want to say, I don't think there's any deep reason behind why I don't like zombies. I just don't.
Yeah,
They're not scary for me.
fair enough. But I feel like zombies are not scary for most people. I mean, when you watch a zombie film, you mostly just want to see them getting shot, getting dismembered, and it's not about them crawling towards you or something. Rage zombies are much scary because if some lunatic starts screaming his head off and charging towards you,
I can
that's scary.
imagine. I can imagine a rage zombie done in a way that's scary. This film didn't do it for me, but I can imagine it. Sure.
It wasn't really.
If it's just like a
trying.
one guy who's at a distance, then he starts running at you and screaming. Yeah, I can see that being scary. But yeah, anyway, I'm running on fumes, to be honest. Like, I don't think I have anything else to say about this film. It's disappointing. It's not great.
Yeah.
And better luck next time, I guess. Even though I love everyone involved.
Yeah, this is the takeaway. Very talented people, a collectiveness.
Yeah. For us.
I'm
We'll
really interested
check out. I want to see the box office because
yeah.
it might actually be successful. Who knows?
Will it be successful because there's like a brand recognition? Because people, oh yeah, this thing I saw when I was younger, and they would like to check it out.
Maybe.
I'm sure it has some kind of, built-in audience or like brand recognition that's reflect in the box office. So it wouldn't be necessarily, unless it's a smash hit, then you wouldn't be able to say if it's landing on its own strength or the strength of the brand recognition.
Yeah.
But if it is a smash hit, then we'll have to investigate further to see what exactly is resonating with the audience.
And who knows? Maybe if the other two turn out to be great, we'll talk about them. Everything is possible.
Yeah, not holding my breath though, but anything can happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think
I
we
think
can
that's
leave
it.
it here.
We can sign off.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe and tune in next time for Superman. Bye.
Bye. Cinema Strolls is an independent podcast brought to you by Hot Potato Studio.
Hosted by me, Roman Pesarov.
And me, Angel Radev.
Production, graphic design, and editing by me, Noura Al Kadri. Music by Angel Radev.
You can find us everywhere at Cinema Strolls. Follow us on Instagram and support us on Patreon and Ko-fi.
Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube.
Make sure to rate us, it really helps our show.